Yeah.
So you're a big Man United fan?
I am.
How's it been under Ole? What can we expect as Fulham fans today?
You're not going to enjoy it under Ole because we've got absolute character, we've got fight. Before we'd go a couple of goals down and it looked like we give up, but I was at the Burnley game recently and we've got urgency for the whole game. We're actually enjoying our football again. And I think we've got one eye on PSG on Tuesday, so that's probably good for you. So we're mixing the team up, but then there's a lot of people that want to earn their place more regularly, and people are enjoying themselves. So it's attacking football, steamroll anyone, and especially, I mean, you're second from bottom, so you really need some points now. Everyone wants to prove themselves against Man United, especially when Man United are on form. People raise their game. We haven't lost for the last 10 games, but we dropped points against Burnley at home, so a game that you would expect probably to win. So never count chickens ever in football. We'll have a good game.
And finally, what is your score prediction, and would you give Ollie the job?
I've gone for 2-0 today. I know you think you probably get a goal because you often get a goal, but we've got Chris Smalling and we've got Phil Jones in the back, and they don't often get to play together, so they're going to want to put out performance, and I would definitely give them a job.
You give the goal to Ollie?
I'd definitely give Ollie a job. He's doing brilliantly. Everybody's happy, the whole team's happy, the players are happy, the fans are happy, we're winning. We've had experience, we've had people that have won everything, and it's just not quite come us. So Ollie's Man United through and through.
Do you think Fulham will survive?
I'd like to see it, but personally I think that's a no.
Why do you think that is?
Well, basically I think it's down to the players we bought, which is obviously down to Tony Khan's naivety in the transfer market. Jokanovic wanted players with Premiership quality, which we're now starting to buy now, but if he'd have had them at the beginning of the season, we probably wouldn't have had to let one of the best managers go. Yeah, he's in the Pep Guardiola stuff, for coaching, and Jokanovic plays brilliant football. We've lost a fantastic manager, and it's purely and simply because £100 million was wasted. That Surrey has only just started playing decent football now. It's took that long for him to adjust to the speed and the competitiveness of the Premier League, and I don't think the people that were buying the players took that into consideration.
Do you think Fulham will survive?
I think there's a chance, yeah.
How are they going to survive?
Well, potentially these new guys that have come in might offer something different to the team. Like Nordvik could potentially strengthen the defence. I'm not sure. Like, was he good at West Ham? He wasn't anything special, but potentially he's better than sort of Tim Ream. They could come in and help sort of our back line improve, and then. I don't really know, to be honest. I just hopefully we can just pull a few results where we can't if we beat Man United today, pull 3 points there that we would never expect to get really, especially their 11 match unbeaten run. If Fulham end that would be shocking. Like, I would never expect that, but if we could, then that's 3 points more than what I'd expect us to.
Guy, do you think we can survive?
I'm on my last knock-ins in terms of do I think so, but I think for now, yeah, I think so.
How can we survive, Guy?
We need to gel together as a team, and that's what we've needed all season essentially. But how are we supposed to gel together when we bring in 5 players on deadline day who had no pre-season? How are we supposed to gel together when we lack Premier League experience? How are we supposed to gel together when we sign players that we don't even necessarily need? It's all been wrong in the transfer market, in my opinion. And this month has been horrible. Well, January. I remember I saw a post on Facebook saying, in one word, sum up Fulham's transfer window. I said neglected, because the board's priorities are clearly lying somewhere else, even though this place is the most valuable of the lot. AEW have just signed the best wrestler in the world, or at least in my opinion, he's definitely top 2, top 3 in the world. Kenny Omega. They signed the best wrestler in the world, the Messi and Ronaldo of professional wrestling, and they're just gonna neglect us You know, yeah, they can't even get us a right back. You know, we signed one player midway through January when you promised us multiple signings. Then on deadline day, you bring in a centre back, which fair enough we need. You know, I guess we'll see how he does. He's got a bit of experience in the league. But then you sign an attacker hours past the deadline. Sure, he can play right wing back, but that's not his preferred position. We need a natural right back. We scouted that Sabali all month, maybe even longer than that. Why'd we wait till there was 4 hours left in the window to try sign him? Apparently we tried signing him before, well, didn't try hard enough, did we? You know, the transfer market's just been it's all wrong. The recruitment, it's just been horrible, honestly. Again, the January transfer window, in one word, just neglect. You know, they've been focusing on AEW when the most valuable of all their business ventures is right here. You'll get a lot of money from staying in the Premier League, a lot more than you would ever get from wrestling. You get a lot more money from staying in the Premier League than you would from AEW.
And his attitude to that fan who dared question
go to hell,
was ridiculous.
Yeah, like I get it.
And then what did he promise? Watch out for
multiple
the
signings.
Window.
Multiple signings.
No, the fans need to be heard.
Yeah,
You're talking about one geezer who's running the club, and he needs to listen to what the fans
This ain't
want.
the NFL. Stats don't work like they do in the NFL.
In football, rather than American football, teams go up and down. In America, it doesn't matter because they don't go down.
Right, so what, Gary Cahill was demanding 150k a week apparently. I would rather pay 150k a week. If he's worth that, okay, fine, but pay the money, see if he can do a job, because if that keeps us up, we're saving a lot more than if we go down. If we go down, we're losing a lot more money than splashing out 150k a week on one player. Like, if we get relegated, we're just going to lose so much more money than that.
TV deals in the Premier League are going 400 million plus. Getting relegated, that drops down to what, 40 million?
Yeah.
You know, that's a massive loss, and they should know that already from the first time we went down. The TV deals have only been getting bigger in money every year too, so it's ridiculous.
Never say never in football until the last few games. I mean, we've still got, what, 10 odd games to go? 13 games to go, so there's plenty of time. I mean, it can go upside down between now and then, so I don't know. Good luck to Fulham. Everybody loves Fulham. You're known as the friendly club. I've got to interview so many ex-Fulham players in my time, and they're all just diamonds, so I hope you stay up.
Today's match, Scarfield.
Number 23, Joe Bryan. And number 24, Jean-Michel Seri. This is how legends are made.
disappointing first half. This is going 2-0 down against a Man United side that really hasn't got out of second gear. A couple of little early chances, but nothing really much to report or hang on to. I can't see us getting back into the game, unfortunately. This isn't Brighton we're playing. As I said, Man United just taking it at a stroll really, and they're quite comfortable. They don't feel threatened at all. So I don't think we've got much to offer the second half, but well, what should be one of the highlights of the season is turning into a very disappointing afternoon. Absolutely nothing to report. Give away a soft penalty. That's the end of us, really. The decisions by the manager there were just absolutely atrocious. I thought, bringing on Christie, who just had an appalling game at Palace last week, and then he waits till the last few minutes to bring on Kenny and Sessegnon, and that's the only time we ever got on the ball and looked threatening at all the whole game. Really, really poor decisions by the management.
I think that's it now. That's it, all over. I think we've just got a bit of pride to pay for, sort of going into the last few games of the season. But I think we're genuinely done now. So
You've just come out of a very windy Craven Cottage, 3-0 defeat. What's your reaction to that?
It was kind of to be expected, I suppose. It's just free swing, isn't it? All those ones. But it was, the manner of it was quite poor, wasn't it? The first minute or so we had half a decent chance, and then just nothing beyond that.
Why do you think it's gone so wrong this season?
Well, I mean, being perfectly honest, we're just not good enough. The recruitment, I think, with all the best intentions in the world, wasn't really thought through. We're bad! But we are, yeah, we're bad. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're lacking in certain, really, really specific areas. Ranieri hasn't been a success. I think I mean, we can play football. That's the one thing we can do. We can't defend. So if you're playing, why are you going to play 5 at the back if you can't defend anyway? You might as well play 4 at the back and have a go at it. I mean, if you include Chambers in that, you're effectively playing 6 at the back, given that he's a centre half as well. I know he's doing a half decent job, but I mean, today when he brought on, he took off Schürrle and put on Christie. Why? Well, I just don't see it. I mean, it does nothing. And then you see Mitrovic getting so frustrated at the end because he's had absolutely no service through any of the game, particularly since Schürrle had come off. At least put Sessegnon there or something.
What do you think of the way Sessegnon's been treated?
Yeah, again, that's incredibly frustrating. He needs some. Mind you, what's he going to do as well? I mean, he's going to receive no service there either. You'd like him to get more game time, but it's going to be difficult going forward in this team, isn't it, at the moment? But
the team's not set up. I've got no words for it. It's just so bad. I don't think Ranieri's good for us anymore. It's just so bad. He's taken Slav's identity out of the club. Yeah.
Why do you think it's gone so wrong?
We've just got such a leaky defence, and he was brought in to shore up our defence, but it's just not working. I'm just lost for words.
It's looking more and more doubtful. You're always hopeful, but I mean, to me, I don't know. We should be playing attacking football. Play attacking football, and if we lose, fair enough. But don't go all defensive all the time, and we've got no chance of getting anything. And the problem is, all the time we're doing this, players are getting disillusioned. They don't know what they're doing. You've only got to see when Christie came on. The players didn't. Who was playing at right back? Adoy or Christie? They were arguing amongst themselves. And you know, when players don't know what they're doing, what hope have we got?
Still think we can stay up.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Why?
I think we can still do it.
How?
We've got Watford at home, we've got Watford away, Everton at home, Leicester away, Cardiff at home, still can get points out of them teams. Very simple.
So you think we're going to win 6 or 7 out of 12?
We can still win 6 games, there's no difficulty about that at all. Just got to have to believe that the team have got to get out there, that's all. Well, look at the team we're playing. Everton, they don't travel well. We always do well against Everton down here, so that's points for us. Cardiff at home as well, we need to beat them. Newcastle at home, again, another win for us. That's 3 wins at home. Then we can pick up points on the road at Leicester. We can pick up a point at Watford. We can go to Southampton and get something.
West Ham next week?
West Ham, we can still get a draw. You don't know what team West Ham play. They play a Jekyll and Hyde team. One team, they play brilliantly. Next week, they can play terrible. We've seen it all the time.
Yeah, I thought we started brightly, looked very positive. We could have and should have been a goal up with Vieto after a couple of minutes. But the old fella's full-back of poor defending killed us. First goal we gave away, no one picked a runner up and Pogba got in behind us. And then the second one, Martial ran 3/4 of the length of the park, no tackle and rolled it in the corner. 2-0 down, game over against Manchester United. And the second half was, well, they just took it easy because they got a big game in the Champions League and we were nowhere. And then the nonsense of bringing Kearney and Sessegnon on with 15 and 10 minutes to go is a joke. I just think now that, you know, the sooner it's confirmed we're gone, the better, because it's awful. We just look rudderless, and the same problem, no leaders, and then the problem, yeah. So, but I'll be at West Ham, you know, glutton for punishment, and we'll be back next season in the Championship.
Alex, what's gone so wrong this season? Why has it gone so wrong?
Well, I don't think it ever really started right, to be honest. We just haven't had a team that has performed together. There's just been no consistency in the team selection, obviously, and that goes back to Jukanovic constantly changing every week. So we just haven't got a squad of players that can perform as a unit, where players can come in and take up a role of someone else who might not be available. There's just been no consistency, other than in quite poor performances. That's the only consistent thing we've had this season.
We're just, fundamentally, we're not good enough. We've come up, we all said, oh great, Kearney and Sessegnon, we're going to have them in the Premiership. But as I said at the time, I don't know, I think they're good players, but I don't know that they're great players. And we rely on them, and we don't have, because we don't have enough players that are good enough, in my opinion, to rise to the level we need. We don't have any clinicians, nobody can really finish. Murray does down at Brighton and Sahar does at Palace. That's why we're just not good enough. I can't really add to that. Sorry.
Don't have a team.
Yeah.
The players we've got are not good enough for the
Who's
division.
responsible for that, Richard?
Well, that's the recruitment in the closed season, and no matter how you look at it, yes, we spent a lot of money, but we didn't buy the right type of players, you know, and you can't build a team where your first game of the season you've got 7 or 8 changes from the last game of last season, and we've stepped
players that literally just come through the door.
That's right, and they, you know, we've stepped up into the Premier League, the best league in the world, and we think we can integrate 7 or 8 players overnight, and 5 or 6 of them come in on the last day of the transfer window. I don't think you can do it, and I think from there we've been under pressure.
And what's your opinion about Ranieri's reign so far?
Well, I think he's old school. I don't think he's got what he had. He's lost it a little bit in this division, I think, and he certainly has not been able to use the Ranieri magic with the players he's got. because he had magic, and he had magic when he was at Leicester, but they're not the right team for the Ranieri type approach, in my opinion.
Okay, I think we respected Man United a bit too much, right? And we got a bit nervous, like right in front of the goal. So I think we could have taken away a draw. They were not that good. They played well, but I think we just gave them too much respect.
Do you think what has gone wrong? If you're season ticket holder, what has gone wrong this season?
I think we just haven't stepped up to the challenge. I think, yeah. I think we're capable, more than capable, right? If you look at the way we played against, even against Arsenal, right, at the Emirates, I think we could have taken away like 3 points from that game.
What about that?
I don't know really. Could be going down. I mean, I'm an optimistic person, but disappointed. We didn't play very well at all. Formationally, everything. They made us look silly, really. I mean, I don't know what to say.
I'll get your honest opinion, Darren. How did Fulham play as a reporter today for you?
How did they play? Well, actually, if you look at the start of the game, they did particularly well, and they carved out a couple of chances. The big difference between them today was finishing. They didn't have any composure in front of goal in the opening minutes, and Manchester United did. When you miss chances like the ones that they did against Manchester United today, all you do is give the opposition confidence, and that's what Manchester United got the longer the game went on. It's a shame to hear some fans calling for the manager to go, because he took over the job when they were in a difficult position. He's on a hiding to nothing anyway. I think at this stage of the season, you are never going to get judged on what you do against Man United. You're going to get judged on what you do against the teams in and around you. What I would like to see is maybe not go so defensive against those teams in and around you. Maybe attack them. You set up fairly attacking today. Maybe show that same spirit against those teams. But as far as Fulham are concerned, they're in a difficult situation. What they need right now is unity, most of all. You can talk about tactics, you can talk about individuals, you can talk about manager. If you have that unity, you've got a chance. Cardiff have got that, that's why they've given themselves a chance. West Ham had that when they were in and around it, they've managed to pull away from the bottom. And as soon as there was a problem surrounding Arnautovic at West Ham, for example, they started to lose their way a bit. If you've got unity, okay, it's a difficult situation and you are 7 points off safety as things stand ahead of the 3 p.m. kickoffs. But if you've got unity, then you've got just a sliver of hope. And I think maybe in those tight games, it might give you the edge.
Do you think Fulham can survive?
At the moment, listen, let's not kid ourselves. They're 7 points from safety. It's tough. And I would be lying to you and to the people watching your show if I suggested I believed at this stage that they would. But all you could hope for is in those games the unity that helps you to maybe have the edge over other teams. I think only 2 teams have ever survived with the points you have at this stage in the last 15 years. So it's going to be very, very tough indeed. But it's never over till it's over.
And why, as an expert summarise, my last question, why do you think it's gone so wrong for Fulham, in your honest opinion, as someone that watches football week in, week out?
I think you bought a lot of players in the summer without thinking about the impact on the team. If you look at some of the teams that have been successful in the Premier League, Brighton, Bournemouth, they've kind of stayed loyal to many of the players that managed to get them in the top division in the first place. And so I think that's a bit of a problem. You've spent a lot of money on a lot of players, but they haven't necessarily been a good fit for the team. And I think it's a good lesson for the club going forward. I think that some of the players, listen, Babel coming in straight away, he looks as though he's a good player. And a lot of people didn't think he would have been a good fit for the club, but he's been tremendous. I think as far as Fulham are concerned, what happened last summer will be a lesson for them going forward. They probably won't be quite so willing to splash out on players just because they're available. They'll be a bit more thoughtful in their spending going forward.
Because a lot of fans are very frustrated the fact that no defender was bought. Why have you got the leakiest defence and you buy Nordveld, who basically is a midfield player, and he's not a defender, and he's not even fit. He's only going to Ranieri 2 weeks. This is crisis situation.
You appear to highlighted the situation better than I possibly could. It is quite surprising that maybe an experienced defender wasn't brought into the club given the position that you're in. There could be any number of reasons for that. Maybe he cost too much money for his age. Maybe they felt he wasn't quite quick enough. But to be fair, that back line does need leadership. And when you have leadership at the back, you give yourself a chance. When you have protection for that back four, you give yourself a chance. And at the moment, Fulham don't look to be solid enough. I think you've only kept 2 clean sheets, I think, against Newcastle and Huddersfield, if I'm not mistaken. And I think when you have a back line as porous as that, you do need leadership. So it is a surprise that you haven't maybe brought in an experienced campaigner.
I'll just wait for my brother here, actually.
Very good.
That's the Man United owner.
Okay, so full-time result, 3-0. We waited around a lot and checked in what was going on in and around and out of the ground. Now, I would say personally, for me, it's mission impossible. But off camera, talking to some of the players, some of the staff, they still believe that we can win 6 out of 12 games, which, fair enough, they do it. Hats off to them. It's an FA, it's like every game's a cup game. So they're positive, but from a fan's perspective, from a realistic point of view, it is mission impossible. From right now, it's what, 6 out of 12 games we've got to win. So tall order, but the players just keep saying we just got to believe, we've got to keep working. It's all about heart. Apparently, one had mentioned, you've got to have the heart, and it doesn't matter how and when if you get the win, you've just got to show some heart, show some passion, and be clinical and get the results. So, from my perspective, I think I'd like to see a few team changes, something fresh. I would like to see some of the young players. Now, I know Ranieri's not too keen on bringing on the likes of Sessegnon, people like that, because they may be worried about confidence and destroying their confidence. I personally think, well, there's no harm in giving some players some Premier League time and say, well, okay, there's a few players here that are not making the grade for one reason or another, or not performing. Let's change it. Let's chop and change it. Let's throw someone in there, and you might get somewhere along the line where a player's mentality might be the fact, well, hang on, I'm playing in Premier League football now. Someone's just thrown me a lifeline. I'll take it, and it might just breathe that bit of fresh air that Fulham may need. So I would like to see both Sessegnon brothers in a starting lineup and freshen things up a bit. And I'm going to West Ham away. I want to see every Fulham fan making some noise, support the team, forget about rubbishing XYZ. It's all about being united and following the team, making some noise and saying, pushing the team to get that first elusive away win, because it's just that one thing that could do it. Remember Man City all those years ago? 2-0 down, technically relegated, we come back 3-2. Breath of fresh air. So come on, you Whites, we'll be there.